In many ways, the most powerful way that adults teach is by example. It's not what we say, it's what we do. That's why in our work, we focus so much on what kind of living example are we as a social and emotional and civic, as well as intellectual learner and teacher. The more the teachers and parents are directly and indirectly showing that they're learners in an ongoing way, and of course they struggle and are confused sometime and make mistakes sometime, and show that we can talk about that. That's not embarrassing, shameful to say I made a mistake and or I'm confused. That is so powerfully helpful to students. And it so powerfully supports their being vital, social and emotional and civic, as well as intellectual learners, which is really the foundation for school and life success.
The child sees the parent or the teacher actually engaged in a social system, whether it's a school, whether it's the neighborhood, whether it's the local church, whether it's the community, that the student understands that adults are engaged and active and have to be for these institutions to run. And so in a democratic society, we're all responsible for these things. And so the only way that children learn that is to see the adults actually doing it.
I think students look to adults as role models in many different ways than we traditionally think. One thing they look at is if adults are continuing to challenge themselves, continuing to grow, continuing to learn, it helps them understand that that's what they should be doing. It helps them understand that ideally that's a lifelong process. We have this kind of sense in America sometimes that your education ends when you get your terminal degree. I think your education continues until the day you die. And we need young people to understand that. And we need, as adults, to recognize that we need to keep learning and growing because the world around us is changing. The young people we're serving are changing. And just because something we did 10 years ago worked 10 years ago doesn't mean it's going to work now. So to me, the reason why young people need to see adults continuing to learn and grow and challenge themselves is, first of all, because it's important role modeling for young people to know that they should plan on doing the same thing over the course of their lives. And secondly, it's a key to being effective in a world that is evolving incredibly rapidly. After all, when I entered teaching in 1985, there were no personal computers in classrooms. If we don't change with the times will leave us behind.